The next chapter is Class 8, Chapter 1. Chapter name is How, When, and Where. So, dear students, let's study about this chapter. Introduction of history. What is history? History is the study of past events, and it is much more than memorizing dates. So, dear students, in this lesson, we will study about how the history happened, when this history happened, and where the history happened. So, once again, I am telling about history tells us about the events, places, about the dates, names. So, these are the learning facts. Meaning of history. See, many scholars have told about the history in their way, but once again I am telling you, history is nothing. It just tells us about our past. History is about changes that occur over time. For example, the finding how things were in the past and how the things were changed. For example, if you will take the events of 1947, and today we are in 2020. So, if we want to know about the 1947, what the things happened, how our India got independent, so it's a history that tells us about the things. Caste system in Hinduism. So there are 5 types of caste in Hinduism. The first, Brahmins, which keep place at first, and all the religious works was taken by the kings from the Brahmins, and they acquire lands. They used to got lands as gift. The next is Kshatriya, Rajputs. They are the warriors who fought in the field. Next is Vaishyas. You can say businessman, means they either a small businessman or big businessman. And next is it's Shudras. Shudras, you can say the servants, or you can say the farmers, no, which these person used to work under zamidars or king. And the last was the Dalit. You can say the Ati Shudras, which are the laborer class, and which did not get means a good position in the system. James Reynolds. He was born on December 3rd, 1742 in England and died on March 29, 1830. But you will come to know why I am telling about this person. So he was the leading British geographical of his time, and he constructed the first nearly accurate map of India. So he was a geographer who make the first map of India, how India looks. He joined East India Company and became the Surveyor General of Bengal in 1764 to 1777. Past venture, present state of history. Earlier, history was associated with the string of dates. This was because history used to keep a track of battle and big events. Means earlier only dates were evaluated with the wars. How many wars had been fought with whom, and the date. These things was written. But later on, at present, history is a wider concept which includes how and what concept. It also adds the how the things taken place, and what happened, the result. So that is the main thing. For example, how people earned their livelihood, what did they produce and eat. So it's a very important thing for us to know about our past, which help us to understand or to correct our present and future. Criteria to select a set of date. So date become important when we assume that a particular set of events are important. Yeah, the what the things are important, that is chronicle means it's a sequence wise, it's a given. Okay, and most of the history in India was written by the British historians. So history of India written by the British historians, because they had so many evidences, records, which Britishers, when they came in India to do business in India, East India Company, so they used to collect the data, they used to survey in India, and accordingly, that many things, many records have been made by them. And with the help of this, the Britishers historians written the history of India. And these historians started writing with the rule of the first Governor General Warren Hastings and ended with the last Viceroy Lord Mountbatten. Warren Hastings. He became the first Governor General in India in 1773. Warren Hastings was a competent, honorable, and far-sighted administrator. Far-sighted means he know the conditions and the future of India. Okay, and whose policies, while some controversial and decisively shaped and stabilized future Anglo-Indian relations. The controversies surrounding his administrations made him the subject of impeachment and trial in the Great Britain. Criteria to periodize. In 1817, a Scottish economist and political philosopher named James Mill published a book, History of British India. In his book, the Indian history is divided into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. Means and Indian historians were not in the favor of this history, because what the James Mill written in history always written about the superiority of the Britishers. Okay, and he used to say the Indians and even the Asian country, the means backward. Okay, so it was not good. So Indian never means in the favor of this history, means history of British India. Prior to British rule, before Britishers took over India, there were Hindu and Muslim rulers who used to exploit India. You know about the Mughals? They used to exploit India. And furthermore, India strongly believed in caste system, multiple religions, and superstitions, etc. So you know that India is a country where all caste and creed relations live together. So from the very beginning, the caste system was not the issue, but afterwards, uh, when the Muslim rulers came in India and the Britishers came in India, So it was a subject of the casteism. James Mill felt that only British rule could civilize India and teach them manners, arts, and laws. So you can understand the thinking of the James Mill. He used to think the Indians, the poor people and illiterate people, and they have no manners. Indian history classified. So this history is prepared by the Indian historians. So that is the it is divided into the three parts: ancient history, that is 4000 BC to 500 AD. You know the differences between BC and AD. Okay, BC means before Christ and AD means Anno Domini. So before the birth of Jesus Christ, 4000 years. Okay, and AD means after the birth of Jesus Christ. Next is the medieval history. It taken from AD 500 to 1500, and the medieval history is also divided into the three parts. Now the next is the modern history, that is 1500 to present. So when the this Britishers came, actually when the Britishers came from then to till today, it is counted the modern history. Time notation. The term Anno Domini AD and before Christ BC are used to label the number years in the Julian and the Georgian calendars. The term Anno Domini is medieval Latin and means in the year of the Lord, and the term before Christ and was used in dating years the prior to the established birth of Jesus Christ. So already I have told you can see this figure, and by this easily you can understand the arrow BC, which is going to the back, and AD, which is after the birth of Jesus Christ. AD starts. Okay, it's very clear to understand. Modern period changed into to colonial. So colonial, you know doubt. Colonial means any country when rule over the another country and take all the take over everything in his way. That is called the colonial rule. Like the Britishers, they came to India, they ruled on us around 200 years. Modern period is related to the growth of all the forces of the modernism, but under the British rule people were not getting modernized. Therefore the name changed into the colonial period. Means they just Britishers, according to the Indian historians, the Indian did not get any benefit from them. Okay, and when the subjections of one country by the another leads to the political, economic, and social culture changes, this is the process of colonization. Sources of writing history. Sources that historians use in writing about last 250 years on the Indian history includes the official records of the British administrations. For British, the act of writing was crucial. So every plan, policy, agreement was in writing, and this led to the administrative culture of the memos, noting, and reports. British also kept all the documents preserved in the record room, which was attached to all the administrative institutions. Moreover, these documents were written by calligraphists, and who specialized in the act of beautiful writing. Cess of Writing History, National Archives of Indian, Delhi. It was established in 1920, and it is the record room where all the documents and letters from the government and the various administrators have been arranged as per dates from 18th century and preserved in good conditions. So many documents are from the Britishers. They left it, and India has kept this all in the as a record. Sources of writing history. Conducting surveys. Conducting surveys was the common under the colonial administrations. The British believed that that country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. So it was a good work for the Britishers. They used to do survey, and according to survey, they used to make a record, and which helped them to administrate over the Indians effectively. By the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to the map and the entire country. For example, the forest survey, geological surveys, etc. Dear students, you have already studied this chapter. It's just recapitulations about the history, and it will help you to understand the history. So just watch this PPT and understand. Thanks. Have a nice day.